Hello everyone. It's Melissa Arthur from Illuminate Guidance. I am also the host of the Own Your Inner Authority Facebook group for women. And if you're not in there already, I hope that you'll join us in there. I'll post the link below this video here in just a minute. I'm here at home with my little Chihuahua Lionel, and he's recently a one-eyed Chihuahua. He got in a little tangle with a raccoon a couple weeks ago, and he's a totally awesome one-eyed Chihuahua now, and I can say that lightheartedly because he's doing really, really well. He's feeling so much better and pretty much back to his old self. But at the time, you know, it was a super traumatic, unexpected experience. And of course, I dropped everything and made sure that he got the care and the love and attention that he needed to heal at that time. But it really, you know, got me thinking about what it means to be a caregiver, and that I know a lot of you are caring not only for animals in your home, but also for children and for aging and ailing parents, and for, you know, those in your community who need help. And that, you know, when we live in community, when we live in the family environment, there's always something, you know, always something, a lot of unexpected things that come up. And, you know, this is a time in my life where, you know, I had an awful lot going on and a lot scheduled, and taking care of Lionel became my first priority. But when I rearranged things around that, I chose the things that were most important to me. I'm working on launching some online courses. I had a new class series I was teaching at the studio, and you know, I had to fit a few extra vet appointments in there, and I showed up to teach my class with some dog hair on me, you know, straight from the vet, but I did it. I met my responsibilities, and I did those things that, you know, I could have canceled and said, you know, this is something that I've got to take care of. But there were a few social engagements I didn't attend. There were a few things around spring cleaning that I didn't do because those weren't as important, but I kept my highest intentions and I took care of the immediate need in my family, and I felt good about that. And I started wondering, you know, how it was that that's how things played out. And really, honestly, it's because I learned this from my mom. My mom is an amazing person if you haven't ever met her, but she really has taught me a lot about living intentionally. And when we were teenagers, she was working, she was raising 3 kids, she had a lot going on in her life, but she was always there for us. But at a certain point, I think it became clear to her that, you know, she was just being pulled in every direction. We weren't planning ahead. You know, we were teenagers. We had dramas all the time that, you know, we always expected her just to drop everything and attend to whatever it was that we needed. And, you know, we were getting to be old enough where there were a lot of things that we could take care of for ourselves. And so she called a family meeting, and she told us that she was going to start living according to her own life plan. And while that definitely included us, and that we were going to be continued to be taken care of, and she was going to do all the mom things that she needed to do, that, you know, it wasn't okay just to expect her to drop everything for every drama or every, you know, time that we failed to plan. And that really had a big impact on me. You know, we joked about it, you know, mom's doing her life plan, she can't do this thing I want her to do or whatever, but we never went without something we really needed. And if we did, I can't remember it. But the lasting impact of that is this model that I had of how to organize your life in a way that doesn't put you last. And I think that, you know, we can go on and on throughout our days and weeks and months intending to plant that garden, intending to write that book, intending to create a painting, or to, you know, take a trip, or to spend some time reading in our hammock, or whatever it is that you want to do just for you. And week after week, you know, it's always something. And so I want to offer a couple of strategies by way of, inviting you to look at this with me, a couple of things that I've been using and working with my clients on that really seem to work. The first one is using your intentions in conjunction with how you set up your plan for the week. And so whenever I'm looking at my calendar and I'm looking at all my responsibilities, all the things I have to do, all the things I want to do, I ask myself, what is it that I need for me? What's important to me? And only me, that I need to move forward this week. And I actually put it on the schedule, because if I don't honor my own plans as important, if I just say, oh, I had plans with myself, but I guess I can change them every time, I'm not living the life that I'm intending to live. And so I put them on the schedule. And if something happens, if I end up, in the vet hospital, or if I end up, having to do something that I didn't intend, like I did a couple of weeks ago, that's the first thing that I actively reschedule. There may be some things that don't get done that aren't as important, but I keep to that commitment to myself. And I don't necessarily feel like I need to explain it to anyone. I don't have to talk about my life plan or, carry the flag for it in any way, but I quietly and with intention stick to what it is that I need to do. And of course that, doesn't work all the time. Sometimes things just get crazy. But if I start every week with that intention and I give myself the opportunity to reschedule, it's much more likely that that's going to happen. The second thing is letting go of guilt. I don't know that my mom felt guilty when she chose her life plan instead of, catering to our every, ridiculous need that came up in every moment. She may have, but, I've got clients who work full time and they feel bad about putting their kid in daycare to go to the gym. And that's a really hard thing because they want to have that time, and it's just kind of a conflicting value. Well, oftentimes as we work through that, we get to a place where, what's more important? Having a mom that's healthy and is managing stress and is modeling self-care and really taking that time to take care of herself so that she can be, what she needs to be for herself and for her family is a pretty important thing to do. And so kind of letting go of that guilt is part of this. I have another client who, was needing more social connections and wanted to do some volunteer work. And again, he was like, I just feel bad. I'm going to be away from home for, at least one board meeting, one night, every month. And I thought, I remember my dad being on a board and doing volunteer service. And we knew that he, wasn't home one evening or wasn't home for dinner because he was serving a really important organization. And we were proud of that, and we knew what it meant for him to be serving in that way, and that, he was there for us again in all the most important ways. But he was modeling that. He was modeling, a well-rounded, way of being in family, of being in community, and doing the things that he, wanted to do for his own personal growth and development. And so I hope that these two strategies are something that you could think about or start to implement in your life, and let me know how it goes so that you can plant that garden, paint that painting, write that book, tell that story. Do the things that you are uniquely qualified, that are your gifts to bring to the world, that are so important and are going to make an impact, and that are worth it, that are worth taking the time for, are worth rearranging things to be who you're meant to be in this world. As always, if I can be a resource for you, I'd love to hop on a call with you. I'll drop my free call link in the chat and would welcome you to book a time to explore how to be an intentional scheduler, to let go of guilt, and to start to live your life from a place of inner authority. Have a beautiful day.